as a backup. So this movie obviously so secret, anticipated. You can't really talk much about it. But what can you say? There's always obviously a lot of things that are already out there. The TED Talk. We're going to see a trailer today. What should the fans be concentrating on to try to discover what this movie is about?
I actually don't want to direct the fans. I think that one of the cool things about we've been having to talk about this movie in a very abstract sense because there was nothing to talk about yet other than we're making this thing. Now there's stuff out there, and I think that in addition, first there was the teaser trailer, then there was the TED Talk, now there's this IMAX trailer that leaked out. Now today we're showing the full kind of 2.5 minute trailer, and I think that hopefully the materials that we're putting out there at the time that we're putting out there is directing the conversation without telling people, here's what we want you to think. I think that the fans that I care about and I know Ridley cares about are really intelligent, and you don't have to sort of herd them like cattle down the chute that you want to herd them down. You sort of say, like, here's the field, graze where you will, but there's tasty treats sort of hidden around if you're willing to sort of take the time. And I think people feel a higher sense of reward if they have to work for something as opposed to being talked down to. Sure.
Well, I mean, and I saw the IMAX trailer last night. That was a face hugger. This is an alien movie. Come on.
If you're, but what's fascinating to me is that you seem so sure of that, and yet you're still looking to me for confirmation.
No, of course, it's true. I know.
I mean, I'm not trying to be.
No, you have to be. I understand.
Cagey about anything.
Yeah.
All I'll have to say is, I don't think anybody wanted to make a movie about face huggers and chest bursters.
Yeah.
As great as those elements are to Alien. And as familiar as they are, if you go to a Rolling Stones show, they better play Satisfaction, even if they play it as an encore. But that's a reasonable expectation you have. That being said, the entire show isn't built around the songs that you've heard. Maybe in the case of the Stones, it's a busted metaphor because you do want to hear all the classics. But
I understand.
I do think that we have an expectation of the bands that we love to kind of go out and make new music in addition to making the old stuff. And the perfect concert is a combination of the two. And we're hopefully Prometheus is that.
So, and we also have, they're shooting Star Trek 2. Can't say anything specific, but do we think you guys talked about yet what you're going to bring to San Diego Comic-Con, if anything, with that?
We have not. I mean, I know that there's a very strong desire to be there. So, and it's really just, we wrap production in May. So, and Comic-Con this year, I think, is in early July, like the 13th or something like that. So obviously, if there's something worth showing, and we will show it. And if there's nothing worth showing, hopefully we'll at least be there to have people throw fruits and vegetables, dribbles at us.
And Michael Giacchino has been tweeting about a Lost concert happening in LA. Do you know anything about this?
Yes. Well, if we're able to build up enough support and interest in it, he did one in Italy. He's done one in Hawaii. They're amazing experiences to hear that stuff played live. We had one in LA as a benefit to, right before the season finale, before the second penultimate episode of the series. He did a live concert, and they're just awesome events. So I think if there's enough interest out there, he'll definitely do it, and I will be there.
All right, cool. And the last thing is, the TED Talk obviously sort of went viral, and it sort of set the tone for this marketing campaign that we're sort of seeing with this movie. You talked about it a little bit earlier. Talk about it a little bit more. Can you get how does it fit in, or how much should we? I know you said you don't want to lead us down a road, but what can you say more about it? Sort of like, how important is it to the movie? Maybe would be the word to say.
I think that again, when we talk about these viral experiences, I try to just put my fanboy hat on and say, like, what are the questions that I would want answered about the movie that wouldn't ruin the movie for me? One of the questions that I would have is, who is Guy Pearce in the movie? Because I've been sort of hearing a lot about other people, but not about him. And then the other thing is, what are the ideas in the movie? Great sci-fi is about great ideas. So is there a way to present some of those ideas about Prometheus before it comes out there? Because a trailer in 2.5 minutes can't really tell you that much. It's going to show you some things. It's going to give you a sense of big action, epic scale, horror,
Yeah.
but it can't really sell much more than that. So a TED Talk is the perfect way to sell an idea, because that's what a TED Talk is you have 18 minutes to talk about your idea. So I was like, maybe there's two birds with one stone here. We'll tell you who Guy Pearce is playing in the movie and what his connection is to the larger universe. Wayland is a name that is obviously familiar to us all.
Sure.
And then he can talk about his ideas a little bit without ruining them. We're not going to go to 18 minutes. We'll go right up to the point where it's interesting enough,
of course,
and then
sure.
we're going to stop. So that was, I think, the thinking there.
Do we have the full 18 minutes, or is it just that's what
There's a much longer version of it that I'm sure will be on the DVD.
Sure, yeah.
But it's not 18 minutes long. I think it's maybe like 6.5 minutes
Okay,
long.
awesome. All right, cool. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
so much.
Take it easy, man.
You
I
too,
appreciate
but
it.
yeah.